we would have to go to the server and to the controller to resend the new page with the image. So we are like keeping the information in the page. So we're gonna continue with this so we could store it in the database. So let's have a look on the code. I had like a breakpoint here. We are in the create view. We did add this image part and we had this input type equals file, meaning we could select a file with the file explorer. We're going to add some parts also to the form here. In the top of the form, you say we have this create part. So we're going to add some more code here, or actually attributes. So we're going to say that this is a post. And we're going to say that we have an, I'm not sure what if it's encryption type or what it is, but we're going to choose something called multipart form data. And the form data will contain the file information also. So we're going to need to use this one. So the next work will be done on the server. And now we have prepared, I think everything, I'm not sure, but most of this is prepared now. So we are like in the create now. We could create a button and go to the controller. So we're going to do some work on the controller side, in the cars controller, and we will, the create. We have two creates. The first one is just the one that is preparing the web page for the create. So it's the other one that is saving it. So here we are sending like sending data from the view to the controller. We're going to add one more thing here. You see we have a section called bind here. This is the data that is coming from the view. So we're going to tell that we also had this file form. Remember the car model? We had this one also. So this is not in the database, but it will come from the view to the controller. File form, and we have it here. So now when we are coming in here, we're going to save it. We can actually have a breakpoint here, so you see what's happening. If I run this again. And we go for create new. Run with the Volvo 245 1977, and I'm going to choose a file. I'll take a Volvo here. And we have all the data necessary for saving now. So if I press create, we end up in the controller where we have this breakpoint. And you could see now with this car object what it's containing. And you see we have the brand, we have no file information, we have no file name information, but we have the model and year, and then we have this file form. And you will see that this is containing more data. So inside here we have the file name, we have the image type, it's a JPEG, and we have a lot of information here we could use. We have the size of the file. So we're going to read out the file somehow from this one. And we're going to take the file name also. So that's what we're going to do with the code. So I'm gonna stop this because we're gonna make changes to this. I'm gonna try to make it so we see it better. Like that. So what we want to do now is to catch the information from the file. So first of all, if we have no data or no file, actually, we could make a check here. So if the car object and the file form, if this is not empty, if this has something inside it, then we can do something with this information. Otherwise, it just passes through. So if you have no file selected, it's just running through and end up this code and save the data without any file information. But if we have a file form information, we're going to do something here. So we're going to use something called memory stream. Let's see if this is part of the added somehow. Memory. I need to find it somehow. Using system IO. Yeah, I think it's that. And we're going to say, we're going to give it a name. Call it MS. This is equals to a new memory stream. And now we're going to do this magic things. So we're going to take this car object, going to take this property file form, and we're going to copy to memory stream. And I will also create one before we start here. As soon as we are inside here, we could actually add like a byte array. This is where the image will be stored. So now I could continue with this, and I'm going to say that bytes are equal to equals to this MS array. So this is like a way to convert the information from the file form and make it as a byte array. So we need to use byte array when storing in the database, because it's not possible to store the image like the way it is in the database. And finally, after this, we could do like have the other information also with this car object. We have this, let's see, this file information that we are going to store in the database will be the bytes actually. And the file name will be, file name is equals to the car.file form. We have the file name as one property inside there. So this file form is containing a lot of data we could use. So I'm going to use this information. So we are actually taking out two things from this file form. So we're taking the image and converting it to a byte array. And we take out the file name from this. So now we have this car object should have all the necessary data to store to the database. So let's try this again. We could have a breakpoint here. Go for create new and run with the same data. I'm going to choose a file. We go for create. So we end up here and we could see that this file form has data, so we will end up with this code. So I could run to the next breakpoint and you could see now that this car is having all the data. It has a file name and it has a file. This is the byte array data. So you see it's just numbers in specific positions. So this is holding the image. This is the Volvo actually. But it's we could run it and see if it's storing it in the database also. Yeah, and we are back now in the index page. And you see that we have all the information here. And we have the file name and we have the file here. And this is actually the Volvo. So I would like to show a small image of the Volvo instead of this text. This is telling me nothing. So I need to do something in the index page. So we go for the index, view, and the cars and the index. So this is where we're showing the data. And you will see here we have it's just showing the file information here. So we need to do something here. So instead of this showing this data, I'm going to comment this away and I'm going to add some new information here. So I'm going to tell that I have an image element here. And I'm going to add some things inside here. So I'm going to say that this source is equals to data image as JPEG. And here is the part that is making these numbers into an image. So we're going to use something called base64. And we're going to do some razor here, telling that convert to base64 string. So this will take this item file like that. And this image will be pretty big, so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to say that the height is equals to 30 pixels. So instead of showing the file information, I'm converting it to a base64 string. So this means it's making it to an image again. So let's try it and do some hot reload here. Go back here and do a refresh, and hopefully these numbers turn into a Volvo. And you see, we have a small image of a Volvo now here. So this is great. I mentioned also that you had this possibility to do with this in the create section. We could have like we had this part. Where did it go? Yeah, with the input, it's type file, and we could have this multiple element to change many images or files. We're not going to use that in our example because that will be a lot of work if you want to store many images for the same car, because you would then have to like changing your model, telling it maybe if you have fixed number of images that say that each car can have 3 images, or you need to split it so you have all images in a known table and just referring to the car. So that will take much time to do that, so we're going to skip it for now. But I think this solution is covering a lot. Do you have any questions on this? Nothing. So I take it that you understand everything. So it's the same thing if you want to do the edit and the other details. You need to have these things that we had in create and the index, so it will work. So that is a good exercise if you want to extend this to have the image in all the views. So right now we just have it in the create and the index, so you could do it for the rest of them also. I'm going to show you another thing also to save some space in the database, and in this case we are only showing cars that has the height 200 as a maximum. The car image is normally much bigger than that, but we are storing the big image in the database. So if you want to, you could, if you're just using 200 as maximum all the time, you could store the image in that size in the database. So that will take much less space in the database. So I'm going to show you that example also. So that job will be due in the controller. So we go back to the cars controller. We're going to add some extra stuff to this part. And we're going to do it with, let's see how we should do it. Yeah, we're going to do it down here. So adding some spaces so you know what we are doing. So we're going to need to take the image into an image format, and then we need to do the changes and make it back to an image again, a new size of the image. So I'm gonna use some var here now, and I'm gonna say that the image is equals to image. Let's see if I can find this one then. Oh. Is it this one? I'm not sure. Let's try it. No, this is another image. This is a little bit confusing. We're gonna need something called another. I'm gonna remove this part. We're gonna use something called system.drawing. This is holding the information, so we could use it with our image. Another part also with imaging. And let's see how I get this one to the I think this part is a little bit special. Let's think. It was a while ago that I made this. I need maybe a reference for something special. System. Let's have a look here in the dependencies, packages. I'm gonna need a component called system drawing common. So I could use the package manager console to install it. I'm running here, so I'm going to stop this. So I'm going to go for the NuGet packages thing here. And I'm going to search for this drawing name, system drawing communal, I think it was. This is the one. Oh, this is the one I want. So this is giving me functionality to work with images. So I'm going to install this. So I go back for my code again. So hopefully now this time when I go for this image code, it's something called from stream. And now I will read from the car object, the file form, and do open read stream. So this will read the data from the file form. So now I have, what is it complaining about? Oh, it says only supported on Windows. That was interesting. Yeah, we're going to do it anyway. I didn't see this message before when I used it. But anyway, I have the image now, and now I could start to play around with the image with help of this image thing. I could get the height from the image by telling that height is equals to image object and then height. So I will get the information I need. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take the height and the width of the image, and then I'm going to set a new height and width for it with the maximum size of 200 in the height. But I need to keep track of the proportions on the width and height. So when making it smaller, I get the correct proportion, or what is it in English? Yeah, I'm going to do it like this. So I'm also going to take the var width is equals to image width. Now I have the size of the original picture. Why does it complain all the time of this? I don't want it to complain. I used this before, so it feels strange. I'm going to continue. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to convert this image to a smaller size. But I only need to do it if the height is more than 200 that I decided should be my maximum size. So I'm going to check if height is bigger than 200. Then I'm going to convert it to a smaller one. Otherwise, I just let it be. So I'm going to take out the proportion or the ratio. So I'm going to say that this is equals to width divided with height. So I get like a number of the of the proportion. This is taking this as an integer, but I want to make it like a double in the calculation. So I'm going to cast it, converting it to a double. With the other one, get a more precise value of this. And this new height that we're going to use is 200, so that I already know. So I could write it here. New height is equals to 200. And I'm going to get the new width also. Height I know, but the width I need to calculate. So this one is equals to, actually it's 200 and multiply it with this ratio thing. We keep the proportions of this one. I'm gonna do it to an integer because this width and height need to be an integer in the. So this will do a conversion or a cast to. Yeah, I need to do it like this. Will cast it. So I get new numbers here, but like an integer. So now I have the new size information, so I could create a new image out of it. I could say that the resized image is equals to a new bitmap. It's also part of this graphic thing. And I'm going to tell that I'm going to use the image, the original image. And I'm going to give it a new size. I'm going to go for the new width and with the new height. This will convert it to a new image with the correct size. And now I need to do it, make the same thing as with making it to an array. So I could actually use the resized, what is built into this one, and say save. And I have this, let's see, I missed a part here. I tried to use something I didn't have yet. So I'm gonna use a stream. You see, there's a lot of streams. I'm gonna call it image stream. And this one is equals to a new memory stream. So this is with working with these images and making them to byte arrays. You need to use these streams. So now I could use the image stream inside here. And I could tell that this should be in a specific format. Image format. And it should be JPEG. So we have the same type. And what's finally one step left is telling that this bytes array, this is equals to image stream to array. So we could actually have this as an, what am I doing now? Yeah, otherwise, if it's not bigger than 200, I'm gonna do something else. And I'm gonna move this section inside here. So if it's larger than 200, this height, we're gonna convert it. Otherwise, we're gonna use the other code part we had, just to copy it to or convert it to a array. And this will be the same. So we're always gonna set the file information and the file name. but the bytes part is different depending on the size. Could that be that simple? I don't like the green text here. I haven't seen it before, actually. I'm going to try to run to see if this one is working. So I'm going to create a new car here. I will do the same Volvo, but I will say that this is resized. I'm just going to do it in the model name. So we could compare the data. And take the same car, of course. And do a create here. So now this time, I'm gonna step this code. So you will see that's what is happening, and you see it's getting a height of 724. It means this is higher than the 200, so it will do the conversion to the size conversion. So this will do a new image with another size. So you'll see here it ends up and it's looking exactly the same. This image size is exactly the same. So if you check the database now, I go for this Management Studio for SQL. I have it running, so I'm starting it now. We try to find my database. The hardest part is finding the correct names. And we see image. This was the bad naming with the date. We see what tables we have. We have car. We do a select of the car. And you will see we have exactly the same information here, but let's try if I could get what it is called? Data length. I'm just writing some length. I'm not sure if this is working. I'm going to do it. So I could actually get the size out of this information with some SQL command here. So if I run this again, you will see the size here. So this is the size in bytes. So the first one is, yeah, I think we could maybe divide this with 1024, and getting it as a in kilobytes. Oh no, it isn't like this. I do it, but this is the size in bytes, and you see that this one is almost the new one, the resized one, is almost 10 times smaller than this one. So this will do a great impact on the storage in the database. And you wouldn't see any difference inside your application if you are using the maximum height of 200. So, but this is an easy way to resize it on your own, in your own database, if you have control of the sizes. So in the view, it's looking the same. It's this is actually just 30 pixels high, but if you do the edit parts, you will see that the image will look the same. Do we have any questions on this? A lot of streams, memory streams, and file readers and so on, but this is a way to use them. Anyone there?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
you are there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Why did you use DB instead of file system? Hardy is asking. Because that was the mission, that was the task I was going to do. I was going to store it in the database. So what I wanted to show you is keeping together the complete car information. So this image, you could reach it from an external web page URL. You could store it on your, like a separate file system on a server. You could store it in the database. What's better is what's decided from higher levels. So it depends on the architecture and the system. When you're doing this software application, for example, you get the instructions that you should not store images in a database, or you could use the database to store images. So there's actually nothing that is better or worse. The thing is, adding an image to the database, it starts growing. So, but on the other hand, if you want to store the image on a file system somewhere, it's taking place there also. So it's a little bit up to the infrastructure that what you're going to use. So you will know if you are allowed to store it in the database or not. What's great with this one is that you have all the data in the same place. So you don't need to start looking for them in different places. So I mean, if the server is crashing and they are reinstalling it on another server and the database is up and running, you have everything in position. Did it answer your question, Hardy? Do we have any more questions?
Of course I have one. If I will remember correctly, when we were running the EF Bloggy and downloaded it, we could just like run it, and the database was created from that code. We didn't have to do any migration, update, etc., etc. Do I remember correctly?
No. EF Bloggy had this. You had to do the migration part.
Okay, then I remember wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, but there are ways to run it with code also. So I had one example with not doing the migration. I was creating the database with code. But then I don't have the same migration options to do things later on.
So I was just thinking that would be great to distribute anything.
Yeah, if you're doing like more like a demonstration or something, that could be a good way to do it. But otherwise, if you're doing something that you need to update all the time, changing models and so on, the migration way should be better to go. Because otherwise you don't know what if you have sent something to the customer and it will be mixes of versions and so on. So this will take more care of it, doing the migration and the update part.
I was more thinking about the final project. It would be nice to be able to hand in one complete thing. You could just open it and run it.
Yeah. The final project you will be running on your own computer, and you will do a demonstration that way. So it's not necessary for the final project to have it automatically. So if you start using an MVC and you start doing things, most likely you will have changes all the time in the model. So it would be nice to do the migration thing, I think. Any more questions? If not, I'm going to add this code to the Teams. And tomorrow we're going to discuss this final project. So you could, hopefully you already have some thoughts about what you're going to do. Or maybe you will come up with that this week. So latest next week on Monday afternoon, we will want to have it from you. So you're going to hand it to us, but we're going to talk more about it tomorrow. So you will get some more instructions. Okay, otherwise, see you tomorrow at another time, not 9 o'clock. Tomorrow we're going to start at 10 o'clock. We're going to run the afternoon meeting at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay, see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock, but remember to be logged in at 9 o'clock as usual.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you.